It's about 2:30, January 24th, 2018. I'm back at Indian Trail Town Hall to do a follow-up on a PIR that I made for emails that spans about 3 weeks for Councilman Jerry Morse, and I haven't heard anything back from the town. And I'm going to see the town clerk, and so they've also informally appointed a public information officer, which may have changed last night at their council meeting, but they don't like having people asking questions, even if it's official business. So I'm going to go in there, find out where that information is, how long it's going to take, and then I'm going to see what the reaction is going to be to. Hello. Can you direct me to the town clerk's office?
One moment. I don't want to be on video if you don't mind.
This is a public space. I can record.
Okay, I don't want to be recorded.
It's a public space, so you can be recorded. Having a good day today?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm happy that the weather's warmer.
Me too. I like it like this.
Me too.
Love it.
Hi.
Johnson, you're making my employees uncomfortable.
It's a public space. I can publicly record.
You could do that, but you're making all the ladies uncomfortable. This is an office space. This is public.
Anything I can see in public, I can record.
You're making 5 ladies uncomfortable, so I'm asking you to turn that camera
I'm not turning it off. It's my civic rights.
Okay?
It's my constitutional rights.
All right, hold on. You want me to call Chase?
Call Chase.
We're asking you to stop.
You can call him, but I'm in the right. I've been doing this way too long.
According to our attorney, you're making our people
Well, then she's wrong and she needs to be fired.
Okay.
Go ahead and call.
Call Chase. Call Chase.
Cut it off.
Call Chase.
Okay.
You want to cut it off, or I'll call Chase?
Call Chase.
Okay. But can you cut it off until Chase?
No. I'm keeping this, I'm keeping for the record, for documentation of our engagement.
Go ahead, Jim, call in and call Karen, and tell her my 5 ladies are uncomfortable. We need somebody right here immediately.
Besides, there's a camera over there, there's a camera up there.
That's correct.
Yep, we're all being recorded.
We sit over here out of the way. No, to continue our conversation.
Yes, that's
Yeah, that's good.
wait outside. I don't want it to be on camera.
Everything will be all right. All right.
I'm just waiting for the town clerk, but Sadek decided to call Chase. So, but I'm exercising my constitutional right to record any encounter I have with a government official out in the public. So, they're trying to get Chase to, no pun intended, chase me out.
Okay. All right. Well, it's making some of the employees a little uncomfortable.
Right, but that doesn't trump my constitutional rights. Look, one thing you don't know is I'm a certified paralegal. I know the constitutional law. That's where I was trained in. I also know as a member of the media, I have the right to publicly record.
What are you accomplishing? You're making people
This is for documentation purposes of my encounters with public officials. We are in the public. You can't trespass the eyes, and you can't kick me out of a public building. I'm not doing anything illegal. And for the viewers here, my hand is shaking not because I'm nervous. It's a handheld camera, so my arm's kind of tired. But everyone's afraid of cameras. Planning, permitting, customer service, tax office. Everyone's gone, even though there's a camera there. There's a camera up there. And then there's another one over there. I'll find it. Oh, there it is. So, public building, perfectly legal to record. And even though this camera's running everywhere, everyone's run off into a corner somewhere. And anyone that's been watching my YouTube channel, Truth You Can Handle, they know that I record government meetings and never had an issue about it before. Of course, they can't. So now they're bringing in a deputy. It's not Chase. The Chase is our lieutenant. He's the one in charge of our town as a part of the contract for Indian Trail, North Carolina. So now he's going to try to explain to me why I can't record because I'm making people nervous. But as a lot of liberty-minded people already understand, people's comfort doesn't trump your constitutional rights. There's the employees back there peeking around, seeing if the camera's still here. And you can go back a couple years. I recorded another encounter where I had asked for the town clerk. It's on video. It was at our old administration building, and I did a PIR there as well to inspect some documents. So this isn't my first rodeo. And there was no issue back then either. And even the deputies hiding from the camera. And I've got nothing against the deputies either. A few years ago, I did a constitutional care package for them, gave it to the sheriff himself. And I have a good rapport, so I don't think that there's going to be any issue there as well. The sheriff of Union County, North Carolina, is Sheriff Eddie Cathy. He's a really good guy. So I don't think there's going to be an issue there, but again, all of this is just a result of me wanting to do a follow-up on my PIR. That's all it is. Hello, Deputy. How are you doing? Deputy Rogers?
Yeah, they want you to leave.
Well, I'm here to do a follow-up on a PIR, and it's my constitutional right to record my... Yes, it is.
Not if you're stalking or harassing.
Well, first of all, I'm not stalking and I'm not harassing. That doesn't fit the legal definition.
He's over the building and he wants you to leave. So.
And I am a citizen of the
Sir?
United States.
Sir?
I am a veteran. I am
Sir?
also a member of the press.
Sir, you need
Please
to leave
call,
right now.
please call sheriff.
You need to leave right
No,
now.
I have the right to talk to the
No,
sheriff.
you need to leave.
I have a right to talk to the sheriff.
Captain Coble's on the way over here.
Okay, let him come
And
over.
You're going to end up going to jail for something.
Let him come
silly.
over. How long have you been? How long have you been with the force?
Outside.
Well, I'll come outside, but how long have you been with the force? It is my business. You're an officer. You swore an oath to the Constitution. I'm a veteran, so did
You
I.
can video out here if you'd like.
I can report inside any public building.
No, they don't want you back in there.
That's not the law. That's not the Constitution. It's not
They don't
settled.
want you back in there.
Court law
videoing and
says that I
harassing
can
the
record in the public.
Harassing the,
That's not harassment. I am just simply getting the PIR update. That's all it is. And you don't have any authority, and if you throw me out or have me arrested, there will be a lawsuit. There will be a
You
lawsuit.
just should bring the camera in.
I have a legal opportunity to record all engagement with public officials. It's settled court cases, and it is part of the Constitution, part of the free
Well, we have
press.
the right to protect our
Here.
employees too, Jonathan.
Here, Michael, go in my car. In the back seat are my press credentials. Go get those.
In the back seat.
Uh-huh. And I'll talk to Chase. So there you go.
I don't give you permission to release that.
I don't have to give you permission on the public. There's no expectation of privacy in public. And you are a public officer in the course of your duties. Hey, Michael, it's the smaller one. Uh-huh. In the back seat. So, they don't like being recorded, but I'll record here. They can't trespass the eyes. So, I can look from the outside. If I can't be on the inside, then I'll be on the outside. The smaller one with the print on it. It should say my credentials on it. Yep. Well, I never expected this. I've been doing this for at least 7 years. And I never expected that they would do this. That's the town manager. So, see, I'm on the outside. Now he's going to try to try to intimidate me. Oh, he gave me a nice little wave, like, see ya. See you in jail kind of little wave. Like a dismissal. All right, do me a favor. Just hold that for me. I'm going to capture it on print. All right. There are my press credentials. And if you do me a favor, would you read that just so that they can hear it?
Jonathan Bear is a reporter, photographer, and a member in good standing with the Constitution, First Amendment, Press Association, CFAPA.org. Issue date November 10th, 2017.
And then, can you describe the back? You don't have to read everything. Describe what's on the back.
I'll read it verbatim. Do not hinder, exclude, or block the view of this journalist in the exercise of the long established and court recognized First Amendment right to be present at and to photograph or film any event in public place. See Perry Education Association versus Perry Local Educators Association, 1983. First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Enacted by Congress on December 15th, 1791. Any officer or public official who deprives another of their First Amendment rights is personally and departmentally subject to suit for civil damages for deprivation of rights, per 42 U.S.C. 1983. Every person who under color of law deprives another person of his civil rights is liable for civil damages. See Pearson versus Ray, 386 U.S. 547, 1967, a U.S. Supreme Court case. Also see Monell versus Department of Social Services, wherein the U.S. Supreme Court held that municipalities and local governments can be sued if the action was attributable to an official policy. Law enforcement officers, public officials, and public employees do not enjoy absolute immunity.
Thank you. Also, do me a favor. Tell my viewers, how long have I been doing this?
Mr. Bear's been doing this for 8 years now.
Okay. And then, how long have I been recording meetings, council meetings?
As long as I can remember, probably almost the same amount of time, close to 8 years.
Okay. And have I done any camera work before?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
What about when we went to see Peggy Piontek? When I did a
that was a few
PIR.
years ago, when he did a request, correct.
And I have that on YouTube, correct?
It's on YouTube, open and transparent, correct.
And can you describe what happened in that video, just briefly?
Oh, about asking for the PR, and she was did her best to avoid providing the information that was requested upon. She also said that the town manager was in a meeting, and it would be a while before he would be available to answer any questions. At which later on she came back to say that it would be longer than anticipated for him to come back to answer any questions.
And until this time, have I had any problems?
None whatsoever.
And would you say I have a good rapport with the sheriff?
Yes, you do. Since you've also interviewed him on at least one occasion in his office. Yes, you do have a good rapport with the sheriff of Union County.
Okay, at this time, because of my memory and battery time on my camera, I am going to put it on pause. We will continue this as soon as the deputy shows up. Here we are, the lieutenant who's in charge of the deputies in Indian Trail. He's coming in right now. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep saying lieutenant. He was promoted. He's a captain. So, yeah.
Get my phone.
Yeah. So anyway, they're going to try to give me an education on something that I know pretty well. kind of cold in the shade.
There's no sun.
Mm-hmm.
Shakes around for me. Almost at the lot.
All right. And now they're going in the back.
What you do when you go to work, correct?
No, not necessarily, because they get paid by the tax dollars. As a citizen, I have a right to record anywhere in public.
You do.
Yep,
You do.
exactly. So I'm not here to make them
And-
uncomfortable.
and
However,
as a citizen, they have a right to grab our deputy and say, hey, I feel like I'm being harassed.
that's not harassment. You know that's not the definition
Go
of
read
the
the
law.
statute for stalking.
That's not
Look
stalking.
at the secondary part of it, Jonathan. Post this.
I'll post
All you
it.
people, go look at it and read it. I'm all for your constitutional right, Jonathan. I'll jump up and down for you all day long. But when it becomes to the point to where you're harassing somebody and you're putting yourself in a position to make somebody feel uncomfortable, and they do feel uncomfortable, if they're able to articulate that, Jonathan, that's going to end up being a violation of the law. We don't want you to wind up in that position. So I'm encouraging you to go read that. But at the same time, I don't care what your beef is. I want you to be able to come in and out of this place, like I've told you before at the town meeting, whenever you stood up there and you said, I'm going to protest in silence after my 3 minutes. You remember that, Michael?
I was there, yeah.
And I had to go say, Jonathan, you got to go because you got to sit down or you got to go. And I finally said, you just need to go. Nobody from that council told you to go that night, Jonathan. That's what I was trying to prevent for you. That's the reason I said you need to go on home, stay at home a day or two, come back, because the last thing you want is that council to end up making a vote that says, hey, you're done. We don't want you on the property because we fear for our employees or we fear for whatever.
Well, that would have
reason.
been amazing for
trying to make-
prayer, having prayer. Now they have moments
And
of
trying-
silence, which is the same thing.
But it's not during 3-minute public comments, John. It's not the same thing. Michael, it's not the same thing during the 3 minutes. I'm not
Well,
arguing
Michael,
with
didn't you say that there was another gentleman who came up after me that time,
I'm
and
not
he was
arguing.
more riled up than I
Yeah,
was?
he made foul threats.
The 3 minutes gets there and somebody asks you that's leading the meeting to sit down after the 3 minutes. And if you say I'm not fair across the board, I beg to differ with that. That's where you and I are going to differ. You're going to go left and I'm going to go right, is that I am fair across the board. If somebody is asked to sit down, I ask them to sit down or else I tell them that you got to go.
Right.
Depends on what you're causing a problem about.
But however, if I'm in a public lobby, it's fair game for who is being
Up until
recorded.
the time that they say, I feel uncomfortable and I don't want you here. At that point, they notified our deputy who asked you to leave.
So where
Do you
are
think being here
my
8 hours,
rights
go
trumped?
get a tent, do you think putting a pop-up camper in the parking lot is going to get your PI request any sooner?
That doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. That's why you'd be here 30 minutes standing around videotaping the
No.
clerk when she tells you or the girl at the front
No, I was
desk.
waiting 30 minutes
When
because
she
they
tells
said they were calling you.
For what? I came over here to do something in the office up there.
Right. Well, I was told by the deputy that he was calling you, so that's what I was waiting for.
He did call and say, hey, I had to ask Jonathan to step out. I thought it was done until I looked out here and see you still out here standing around, so I felt like you wanted to talk to me.
Well,
So I come to talk to you.
I'll still have to bring it up with the sheriff then, because again, just because they're uncomfortable doesn't trump my rights. It's settled case law. You know, you can't trespass the eyes. If I'm out there and they are public servants, I have the right to record. Besides, I recorded in there. There's cameras going on right now. So if I wanted to do a PIR on those cameras, I could do it. You know?
Fill it out, Jonathan. I don't care. You're acting like you're arguing with me. I'm not arguing with you. What do you want me to tell you?
Well, no, I just want them to know that I have this right. And just because they're uncomfortable, it's not harassment. Harassment, there's a higher threshold than just me having the camera.
Are you done? Okay.
All right, so now I can go inside and find out what's going on with my PIR, correct? Why not?
Because they have asked us to tell you that they wanted you to leave the building, that they felt uncomfortable.
But how can I be trespassed?
Do I look like the Supreme Court to you?
So am I being
I simply
trespassed?
am making a decision, Jonathan, and you're going to contest my decision, and we're not holding trial out here. You're contesting my decision based on what I know. Here's what I know. I know you came here and you asked about your PR request, correct?
Initially, but I didn't even get that far.
But you asked about it, and they told you that they didn't have it ready. It's
No,
what you
they didn't
told
say,
me.
no, they said that they didn't want me recording. And that's where it
Has
stopped.
anybody given you your PR request and you've been here for 30 minutes?
No one's talked to me about my
Is
PIR.
that what you want?
Yes.
So
I
you
just
want me
want-
to go in and out?
I
Did
want
you
the
ask them?
status.
Anybody asked them, is it ready?
Nope, I want the status of where my PR is. It's been about 2
You want
weeks.
me and Chase to go in there and ask for it then?
We'll be glad to. But they've asked you at this point, kind of like the town meeting thing,
They don't want you in there.
they don't want you in there.
Right, but you agree that
Hey, listen. do
you can't
agree with
trespass
this?
the eyes, right?
If you go to Walmart right now and the store clerk says, hey, I'm fine with you, Jonathan, but I don't want Chase and Michael there, me and Michael's got to go.
They have the right for a private business. This is not a private business. This is paid by the taxpayers.
Do you want to test that theory?
It's already been settled in case.
Do you want
Case
to test
law
that
has
theory?
already.
Do you want us to go and ask for your PR?
Go ahead.
before we
Do
get
you want them to
going?
end up asking you to leave the total property?
Well, they can, but then they're subject to a lawsuit.
We'll go test that theory for you, Jonathan.
I-
not arguing with you.
Which PR is it? So we got the right one.
For the emails for
Councilmember.
council member. So there you have it, people. In Indian Trail, North Carolina, they are going to trespass me for publicly recording a video. So that means I get to go to the sheriff, make my formal complaint there, and then I'll have to probably talk to an attorney about suing the town, and it's not going to be pretty. So you can't trespass the eyes.
You want to tell him, Michael? Hang on.
Nothing available right now. Mike Parks is not here. He had an emergency. So I was told by, Pat said it before.
And he
They will
handles
send you an email, give you an update. That's what we were told by Alicia Massey.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I did want to talk to the town clerk because she is responsible for those documents, but it is what it is.
Apparently, the town lets Mike Parks be their communications officer,
Which he is.
which is what he is. So if you want to make an appointment to talk with the town clerk, certainly call over here and make an appointment to talk with the town clerk. You got to realize these people are busy, John. They're working.
Right?
So
And that's their job.
Unless your motive, and you clear this up for the tape, unless your motive is to disrupt the operations of the town of Indian Trail,
No, I'm asking them to
Then-
do their job.
then you should have no problem with calling, making an appointment rather than trying to sit over here and wait on somebody to come down.
As a
and talk.
citizen, I have the right to come in and ask in
Jonathan,
person. I have the
You got the
right.
to do a lot of things.
Yes,
in this
I have
world.
the right to do it.
You have the right to do a lot of things, Michael. You have the right to do a lot of things in this world. You have to make that moral compass of, is just because I have the right to do it doesn't mean I should.
But I'm not doing anything flagrant. It's not flagrant. It's me coming in, getting information that I asked for previously. That's
got
all it is. And-
It's been, what's the time frame? 2 weeks?
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
I think the law gives them a reasonable amount of time.
Sure. But I still have the right to come in and find out in person what was going on. Just what the status
You do,
was.
Jonathan, and they have the right to ban you from the property.
And have they done that?
I'll make sure that they do today.
All right. Here we go. So lawsuit here against Indian Trail, and then a lawsuit
hang on,
against
hang on.
Union County Sheriff's
Hang on,
Office.
come here. Let me make it real clear to you and your camera that at this point you're harassing the town workers
It's not harassment.
from getting their job done. Michael and I were able to go in there in about 15 seconds and get a reasonable answer to a reasonable question. Mm-hmm. You yourself are telling me you spent 30 minutes here,
Waiting for you.
Jonathan. That's unreasonable.
Waiting for you.
No, sir, that's
I
unreasonable.
have it on tape.
Waiting for me
The
for what?
the
I don't handle
I don't
PR
know.
requests.
I wasn't talking to you about that. The deputy said he was calling about the specific reason for this camera being on. He said he was calling you. Now I have to call the sheriff.
Jonathan, call the sheriff. The sheriff's going to tell you the same thing. Be reasonable, and anybody will want to work with you.
I've been doing
Be
this for
reasonable.
7 years. I've been reasonable. I've recorded meetings. I know the
I
law.
don't have the PR request.
Guys, we're getting nowhere. Just, Jonathan, hang it up. Just,
What they're going to do is what they've been asking for a while. Can we just have him banned? I've been the one arguing, saying, hey, if the guy's here taking a picture of the front lobby or taking a picture inside or in a public area, absolutely he's got the right to video. But you crossing that line when you're harassing these employees, John.
I'm not. How can I harass them?
All right, get
That
off
doesn't
the
make any
property.
sense.
I'm going to give you a reasonable amount
All
of
right,
time to leave the property.
I'm leaving, but I'm making my complaint
You
against the
document
sheriff.
it, you make a complaint to whoever. I'm giving you a reasonable amount of time. You're wasting that reasonable amount of time right now filming me. Reasonable.
All right,
I don't know.
all right.
All right, Chase.
Don't waste your reasonable amount of time, dog.